There's no such thing as comfort until your bank account or your balance sheet says so. Until you read your bank statement or your balance sheet and it reads back to you, you don't need anybody for then you're not safe. You're not comfortable. I don't care what you went to school for, how long you've been working your job, what's on your resume. At the end of the day, there is no comfort. There is no, I already make enough. The bills are paid. I have a decent income. There is no such thing until your bank account or your balance sheet says so. Companies are in crisis right now, and it's only going to get worse for the foreseeable future. And this crisis mode is going to force them to work on self-preservation and focus on survival and self-preservation. That means you're expendable. Unless you are the owner of the company, you're expendable. And it is your obligation, your job, and your duty to yourself and your family to make sure that being expendable does not mean that you're going to be starving somewhere. It is your job to position yourself and to constantly be climbing for the highest ranks possible when it comes to financial independence and financial security. You should not be in a situation where a job can cut you off and within 2 weeks to a month or 2 months, you're in a dire situation. You need to be focusing on exactly how to get a secondary income or to accumulate enough assets as to where a job, if you are working a job and a job cuts you off, you're going to be okay. Companies are in a precarious situation in this economy. The Federal Reserve's downward pressure with interest rates, while corporate debts are starting to turn over in the next 1 to 2 years. Many people don't even pay attention, but companies borrow money to grow. And a lot of the debt that these companies have is variable rate debt. That means that there's no fixed rates for no long term. It's not a mortgage. It's not a 30-year fixed debt. 3, 5, 7-year terms, variable. It's time for it to adjust. And 3, 5, and 7 years ago, rates were half, if not lower, than what they are now. These companies are going to have trillions of dollars collectively turn over at double and almost triple the interest rate that they took that money out on. Revenues are down. The downward pressure from the Federal Reserve's policies has people spending less money, borrowing less money, and participating less in the economy. You have a scenario right now where companies are going to have higher expenses, less revenue, and going to need to start cutting costs. One of the first things on the chopping block is labor. Again, doesn't matter what you went to school for, what your resume is. Doesn't matter how well you've been working for the company. At the end of the day, if your position being cut can buy them time, if positions like yours getting cut, it can buy them time until they can either find some kind of way to increase their revenue or the economy turns around in some form of fashion to their favor. They're going to choose self-preservation every time. These companies have control and they have self-interest. And at the end of the day, your job is this big in comparison to that entity's existence for the people who control it and are furthest up the ladder. You can always go out and get a job and replace your income. That company can't simply turn around and replace itself, or the people in those positions can't necessarily guarantee replacing their position or their lifestyle. That's the way this is looked at. It is what it is. Focus on your financial independence and security, not because W-2 jobs are the devil or companies are the devil. It's just the way the system is designed. W-2 jobs are still supreme and superior when it comes to banking, lending, and underwriting. So a W-2 job should not be frowned upon. It should not be flushed down the toilet until you can physically produce the proper documentation under your entrepreneurial banner, meaning that you can go through underwriting, 100% tax returns, financial statements, balance sheets, proven income, etc., etc., etc. A W-2 job will be supreme because it's stable, it's predictable. That is something that you cannot get away from in this financial system at this time. So if you have a stable job, focus on it. All I'm encouraging in this quick video is don't get contrary, don't get comfortable, don't get complacent. You're not safe. At any given point in time, you're going to need to go out and be forced to go out and produce for yourself outside of the job that you've invested all this time and energy in. And if you haven't found a way to accumulate a bunch of cash or a bunch of assets or skills that you can go out in the marketplace and independently exercise to bring back income, then you are not safe. So I wanted to bring this to your attention because the data keeps coming out these companies are in big trouble. A lot of these companies, entire industries are in big trouble right now. Layoffs are going to increase. And none of us, I still work a W-2 job. Though I have other business operations going on, I still have a W-2 job. My situation is different. I can provide for myself outside of my job, but I very much would prefer to keep it at the time being. But at the end of the day, I have the mindset, and I, for years now, have put myself in a position where I can go out and survive and make do for myself without my W-2 job. I hope you put yourself in the same position. To all my pioneers, welcome back. To my new viewers, welcome in. I want you to comment down below and let me know what industry you're working in, how long you've been at your job, what do you have going on outside of your W-2 job to help protect yourself or to create financial stability or security if your job gets pulled from under you. If you want to learn more about myself and the channel, I want you to start in the description and work your way to the About section of the channel. And most importantly, subscribe, like, share this with anybody that you feel will get value from it. Other than that, I want y'all to stay focused. Stay in motion. I'll see y'all soon.